Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm going to keep this one short. I'm going to try to anyway. We all really need to pay attention to what's going on in our surroundings as we go about our business. If you look at what's been going on lately, and I'm going somewhere with this, you look at, what was it, Governor Shapiro is in Pennsylvania, I believe. So they attacked his house, they Molotoved his house because he's Jewish. They threatened Fetterman. I don't even know if Fetterman's Jewish or not, but he supported Israel's, right to defense, whatever, and people threatened him. It's no longer become a question, and this became normalized when Trump won the first time. And then it really took hold during COVID when people were locked away and they were able to say horrendous shit to everybody, and they were able to riot, and there was no consequences to the rioters. But now you've had 2 people get shot in front of a synagogue in Washington, I believe it was, Washington, D.C., and now you've had the Colorado attack where the guy threw Molotovs. One of the people was a Holocaust survivor. Like, this was a 85-year-old woman, something like that. I mean, this old lady still has... So she not only survived the damn Holocaust itself, like the Nazi-induced Holocaust, and got tattooed on her arm like an animal, but then she has this asshole throws a Molotov, or he was using like an improvised flamethrower, which just blows my mind. He injured a lot of people. Me personally, I'm like, had it been in Texas or Oklahoma or Ohio, more than likely he would have gotten shot by somebody, or he would have gotten a beating, but there they just didn't know what to do. He was still, the fact that he wasn't on his ass and he was still flapping around kind of floors me. But the cops took him into custody, and dumbass didn't think 3 steps ahead, because in getting himself investigated, they went to his house to look for more evidence of his planning, found out that his family was here illegally and had overstayed their visa as well. So now his wife and his 5 kids are getting deported, and they're getting sent, I don't know whether he's from Egypt or wherever the hell he's from, and he's going to go to jail. And then when he gets out of jail, Egypt apparently wants to throw him in jail for something else. So homeboy's never going to see his kids and wife again. We've normalized this behavior, okay? You're seeing it on the street. Some of it's for TikTok or Twitch views or whatever the hell other... there's some live streaming thing that 20-year-olds are using, that they go around and they live stream. It's not TikTok, it's something else, and they do dumb shit. But now they're getting to the point they're just walking up and smacking people, walking up, knocking people downstairs, and we've normalized it. I've said it before. I think I used the phrase MABGA, make beatings great again. People like that, people who have become feral, will not respond. Contrary to my more progressive friends' beliefs, they're not going to respond to reason. They're not going to respond to a rational argument like I would, or any of you would, where it's like, hey, you shouldn't fight because, you're not accomplishing anything. You're making your cause look bad. They don't care. They have become so enraged, and they've never experienced a consequence, that when they do, they actually panic. They cry. I've seen some video of people wetting themselves, and because they're getting beat up. Like, they attack someone's wife, the husband and the brother go and beat the crap out of the guy, and he pee-peed himself. And I think this was in Denver also. What's up with Colorado anyway? Like, y'all lost your minds up there. Anyway, even California is not that bad. Like, they're actually throwing people in jail in California again, which, great, good job. Took you long enough to repeal that stupid law. But, yeah, Colorado, y'all have lost your minds. You're demented shit. People setting each other on fire and fighting and peeing themselves. I don't even know what's going on in Denver. Point being, we need to be mindful of what's around us. We need to be mindful of our surroundings at all times. And this is not just when we're on the road. This is when we're at home, when we're at the park, when we're at Walmart. This doesn't mean panic. It doesn't mean freaking out. It doesn't mean hide under your bed. It means be smart, and you protect yourself. And I've said this before, I'm an engineer. I believe in the numbers. Everything you do to protect yourself puts odds in your favor of being successful, right? So if you lock your doors the minute you get in your car, right, it may not prevent you from getting carjacked, but it puts the odds in your favor. When you drive to a shopping mall, you don't just park wherever. You drive around, you don't park where it's dark, you park by the door, you look at the cars around you, make sure no one's hiding between cars to grab you when you park. That puts the odds in your favor. It puts a percentage in your favor, if that makes sense. If you back into your parking spots, I always back in. One, I find it easier to get out because my first move's forward, so from a safety standpoint, it's a good idea. But you back in, you pull out forward. I can see if I park and I back in against a wall and someone runs at my car, I can see them. I can put that thing and drive like that and go forward, and if they get deleted, oops. But point being, I can see what's going on, and safety-wise, my first move out of the parking spot is forward. I have full visibility in front of me. Little things like that. Not wearing too much jewelry unless you're at a special event. And even if you are, I know a lot of ladies will carry it in their purse and put the jewelry on at the event. They'll go to the ladies' room and they'll put the jewelry on so they're not driving around or stopping at gas stations with pearls or whatever. Those little things reduce your likelihood of being a victim. If you look at some of the interviews on YouTube and the other websites, how criminals pick their victims, they pick people who are inattentive, they pick people who look like they're scared, they pick people who look like they have things of value, and they pick people who look like they would not be able to fight back or cause a commotion. They would much rather grab a tall person who may be physically bigger, who's walking carelessly, not paying attention, inattentive, untied shoes. That's a much easier mark than, the 5'1" girl who's wearing the running yoga pants, tied up sneakers, and probably has pepper spray in her little clutch purse. They don't want the little clutch purse girl because she's going to pepper spray everyone. Even if she gets herself, she's going to make a screaming commotion. They don't want that. They want the dumbass who, by the time he registers what has happened, they're gone with his wallet. So folks, pay attention to your surroundings. This is more a street smarts video than anything, but make sure you're paying attention to what's going on around you and take those small steps to put the odds in your favor every day. You guys be good, be careful out there. I will see you later on.